Good morning. Peace and blessings. Happy Wednesday. I'm the Moon Mama. How are y'all doing today? What a new moon. Woo! That new moon ain't playing. That Capricorn new moon came to take some prisoners or to set some people free. One or the other or both, hopefully. I know for me, I see more clearly now, just having, been in the process of seeing what was really showing up for me around the way I relate, around the way I connect to the masculine, how I relate to through my own feminine energy. And it has been really interesting because the thing that has been coming up for me is this patriarchal thing. And the patriarchy, because Capricorn governs the patriarchy, which is the systems by which we have created the world that we live in, the structures. The patriarchy, is not a person. It's not even, we might think it's white men. It's systems that they created often, but we have to always recognize that things serve until they don't. Things work until they don't anymore. And so this patriarchal system has worked for a while. We have advanced as a culture. We have advanced as humans in medicine and technology. And, on some level, that's the advancement that we needed was something that is interesting because indigenous people always knew how to heal, right? Indigenous people always knew how to relate to nature. But it's like we had to evolve as humans so that we could see our wrongness, so that we could experience, the effects of capitalism. And we need to experience the bad things so that we can actually appreciate the good things. I think that's what I really want to say. So the patriarchy is not all bad, and it has not been all bad. It has served. But inside of myself and inside of us as individuals, we get this opportunity to check and see what the patriarchy really has been doing. Because things expire. Things start to rot. Things start to decay. Things start to become corrupt. They become corrupt. Exactly. So that's what I want to say. So for me, I've been seeing it. So this is so fascinating. When I was a very little girl, my mother told me a story of her being a prostitute while she was pregnant with me. And that my father, it's an interesting story. Maybe I've told it here before, but that she told my father she was pregnant. She was 17. My father was an adult. He was a pimp. And she told him she was pregnant, and he said that he wanted her to have an abortion. It was 1968. So he was going out to find somebody to give her an abortion because abortions weren't legal. And so in that, he had a warrant out for his arrest. And when he left that day, never came back because he was arrested for whatever was going on. He was a pimp, so it could have been anything. But because of that, she didn't have an abortion, and I lived. But because she couldn't figure out how to take care of herself, she continued to be a prostitute, and she continued to have sex while she was pregnant. And her sister told me that she was writing a letter to my father while he was in jail, and her sister mailed the letter to him. And her sister told me that the letter said, I can't continue to work on the streets anymore. People can tell that I'm pregnant. So I won't be able to send you money any longer because I can't work to make money to send you any longer. And that, when I was young and I knew that story, I used to be able to feel the energy of the men that she slept with inside of my body because I was absorbing it when she was pregnant with me. Now, I know that sounds crazy. I know it does, but it's true. And that energy lived deep inside of me, and it always felt vile. It always felt like something was wrong inside of me. It always felt like this insatiable kind of nastiness is all I can really say. And then I also had, her mother was the result of rape. Her mother was working in a family's house in Mississippi, in the early whatever, and the white man at that house raped her. And so what I realized, as I've been doing all this work to heal myself and to transmute these energies, is that I have a predator energy inside of me. It's predator prey. So the thing about the universe is that everything is polarity, right? So if we have one thing, if we have the one side of it, we have the opposite side of it. So it's a predator prey thing. So it's like I carry this energy of being preyed upon. It's something that I seen in my mother. It's something that I see in a lot of women. We just have in the patriarchy, there's this predator prey energy goes on. And so I've noticed that inside of myself as I've been doing the work to remove and heal those energies inside of me. And so during this this new moon, I just have been feeling what is coming up for me. It's something that is impacting the way I relate to the masculine, and it occurs in me as this fear. It occurs in me as this trepidation, and finally really discovered that it's this predator prey energy that lives inside of me. And so I now can do the work to transmute that and heal that with meditation and lacing and all of that. And so I just wanted to share that because I feel like that is a very significant thing. I think that, here's the thing that I know. Everybody has everything. Like, none of us are free of these experiences. We just have to be able to identify them inside of ourselves and heal them. So this is why I'm inviting you guys to come do this work with me through this class, Rebirthing the Authentic Self, Becoming Your God Image, because I'm going to be teaching and instructing and leading and guiding us into the opportunities to discover the codes, the beliefs, the behaviors, the practices, the lineage that has been keeping us trapped in behaviors and ways of being that don't allow us to flourish. So I hope that me sharing that is helpful. So the moon today. I'm sorry. The moon today is a Mercury day, and Mercury is at the 8th degree of Aquarius. And Mercury is our mind. It's how we perceive the reality. And Aquarius is this energy that says we get to perceive a new reality based upon the blueprint from the divine. Just so you know, Aquarius is going to go retrograde on the 31st, and I am going to be doing something for the retrograde. Not the same thing that I've been doing, but I'm going to be doing something, and I'm working it out, but I will have it. It won't be like a big class, but it'll be an event to come and have a conversation about the retrograde and get the rituals and the tools and things that you'll need, and I'll be able to announce that next week. I have so many things going on, so be with me. So, track with me. But Mercury in Aquarius is this, it's like rebelling against our old ways of thinking, the way we perceived reality. So for instance, like there was a time in my life when I would have perceived that I was a victim, right? And thought like that, like this whole Me Too movement, this experience that I've been going through with this prey predator thing is this Me Too stuff. It's women not recognizing that we are energetically in co-creation from the inside out with all the masculine bodies. So if I experience rape from somebody, I know it's hard. I know it's hard to say, but I know that energetically I've drawn that into me somehow from the feminine perspective. That's a really fucking hard thing to understand. I get it. I know that people are not going to like this, but we live in an energetic system and everything is energetic agreement. That's the only way that it can be. So this Aquarius energy, Mercury in Aquarius says, let's go to the blueprint. Let's look at the very truth of things. Let's look at it at its purest understanding. And that is going back to the energetic frequencies, the feminine, the internal. And we have to do this with compassion and grace, because in our human evolution, we've been we've been blind. We've been doing things so wrong. We've been, making, competing with one another, making one another wrong and oppressing one another and doing harm. So we have not been able to see ourselves clearly because there's been so much shame and guilt, because we won't look at things from a pure perspective. We look at things with the intention to attack and make wrong. And that's not what this is about. Okay? This is about healing. And healing and transformation means being able to discern so that you can see what's really happening, to be able to shift it, not to accuse, not to make wrong, but to actually be able to make the changes. And that means looking at the most grave challenges with new eyes, like they did in South Africa with the Truth and Reconciliation process. Not that that was ideal, but that is a process of healing. And we want to be able to do that in our own lives, take responsibility for our own actions, right? So for me, I know that I have an energetic in me that draws in predators. It's just a function of me because of my lineage. And so when it shows up, I'm not going to blame them. I'm going to go, where is that living inside of me? This internal thing. The moon has just moved into the 0 degree of Aquarius. And the moon at the 0 degree basically says, I can feel that I'm here in this new space where we are not holding on to the old patterns, where we are open and willing to look at things in a new way. We are open to do the forgiveness work. We are open to access compassion and empathy so that we can do the hard work that needs to be done, that will free us from the suffering and the bondage and the lies and the guilt and the shame that we have been cultivating for thousands of years. So with that, I hope that you had an incredible new moon. I hope that you guys will pray for me. Like, I'm really wanting to move. So send me some prayers. I really want to move. And I've lived in the place that I live in now for 10 years, and I'm really outgrowing it. It has been amazing, and I love it. And I have an incredible community, but I'm going to go see an apartment today. And I'm putting it out to the universe that I'm ready to take flight and do something different. So today, with the Mercury at the 8th degree of Aquarius, you want to bring yourself to the goodness within every situation, right? The goodness within every situation. And in that, you can access empathy and compassion. You can access a new possibility. You can access healing and transformation. If you can look at the most challenging situations, that's what I do. I look at the most difficult situations in my life, like my mother and father beating my father beating my mother, and me watching that as a child and asking myself, what was really going on there? Not just being angry with my father and making him a monster, but what was really happening there? What was really playing out between them, so that I could learn the lesson from it. And when I can do that, I get free, I get power, I get grace, and that is worth it. So look at everything in your life, the hard things, because we just came out of this new moon in Capricorn, which was brutal. Look at it and see, what else? What is possible? What's really happening here? Or what am I really feeling, right? Go start with your feelings. Maybe you feel, pain. Maybe you feel suffering. Maybe you feel grief. Feel it, and follow it. And then ask, what else is possible? And then that will lead you into a new way. Okay, so I encourage you all to come register for the Rebirthing the Authentic Self, Becoming Your God Image. There are about 10 people. I have limitless spaces here. So come and let's take this class together. It's going to be $97 a month. It's going to really help us break into a new way of seeing ourselves and seeing the reality, so that our lives can be aligned with the electromagnetic field, this new energy that's coming in, so that we can access new possibilities in our lives. But we can't do it without looking at the old stuff first. Just for a second, so that you can transmute it, not forever. And I'm going to offer that. I'm going to teach you how to do that. All right. Peace and blessings. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.